Hi there, welcome back for another episode of Dave's Desk Bible Basics. Today we're looking at 1 Corinthians, so probably written by Paul in the early part of AD 55, who's probably in Ephesus at the time of writing, coming towards the end of a 3-year stay in Ephesus where he's been teaching and preaching to the city there. And Corinth is one of these... It's one of the hearts of the Greco-Roman world. Corinth is a centre for commerce. It's a very wealthy place, and as is, I guess, normal for a centre of wealth, it's become a real centre for the arts, a real centre for religious pagan worship, and it's become a real centre of sexual immorality, such that Corinth is literally a byword for sexual immorality in the Greco-Roman world. And so Paul is writing to the church in the midst of this very alien morally city, and the church there are really struggling to live lives distinct from the city around them. They're struggling to rid themselves from the sort of the avarice, the greed that goes with being a commercial city. They're struggling to separate themselves from the pagan worship of the city, and they're struggling to separate themselves from the sexual immorality of the city. And so Paul writes a letter, the first half of which is dealing with some issues he knows they have. People have travelled to Paul and said there's this stuff going on, and Paul addresses that. And then it seems like some other folk have come and they brought a letter from the church. So the second half of of Paul's letter, he deals with their questions. And so it's a really sort of caring pastoral letter trying to help the church to overcome their internal problems of division, problems of immorality, problems of taking each other to court, and also helping them to grow as a church. It's probably fair to say that the church in Corinth are struggling to move into maturity, and so it's a very pastoral, fatherly letter trying to help them to gain from his wisdom and to grow into maturity. And so it's a letter full of hope, a letter full of care and love. And I really encourage you, if you want to sort of take one chunk of 1 Corinthians, to read chapter 15. It comes almost at the end of the letter, and it's probably what Paul has been building to. That a lot of the struggles the church are having in Corinth come from the fact that they don't really trust in the resurrection. They can't believe in the audacity of the gospel saying we'll be born again, and therefore it's this moment in the letter full of this sort of excitement at what is to come, and therefore let's live as people who are looking for this new life in Christ. And I hope you find that encouraging. Thank you for joining me again, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.